It is Tech Tuesday, where every Tuesday I show you a new piece of tech that I like. So last video I showed you guys this MagSafe wireless charger, which I've been using all the time around the house to keep my phone topped up. I thought I'd continue on that train and show you guys the main portable charger I bring with me whenever I need a significant amount of juice or going somewhere overnight. This thing goes everywhere with me in my travel bag. For context, I've tried a lot of portable chargers to find the perfect one, and this is the one I finally settled on. It's pretty much perfect. Here's why. So first thing, practically, it has built-in cables. It has both USB-C as well as Lightning, so I can charge my iPhone and my AirPods. These ones are nice and short and they tuck right into the charger here, so I don't need to have a bunch of extra cables in my bags, but I still have all the utility to charge whatever I need. Second one, and this one's big, Apple Watch charger. Pretty self-explanatory, but it charges your Apple Watch. Again, really good for just overnight. You bring this thing, you charge your phone, you charge your watch. Again, saves you one cable. Charge this thing up. It charges up via USB-C, so I use my Macbook charger to charge it. And on that note, this is the big one. This thing has a 22.5 watt output, which means in a pinch, it has enough power to trickle charge a MacBook. So if I'm somewhere traveling and my Mac is dead and I need to handle an email or something, need to work, whatever, I can plug this into my MacBook and it will charge it. It'll charge it slowly, but this can power my MacBook. Next up is the size of this thing. It's tiny. You can see here in the palm of my hand, even with the cables, it's super small, and it has 10,000 milliamp hours of capacity, which is 2 charges and then a little bit more on most phones, or 2 full phone charges and a watch charge. I found this is the perfect sweet spot without having to sacrifice way too much space with the big chargers. Lastly, it just looks kind of dope. I mean, look at this, all the exposed PCBs and everything. You can tell it's really well built and crammed in there, and I like it a lot. So now whenever I travel, this is the whole setup I bring. I bring this, which will cover my phone, it will cover my watch, everything, and then I bring my MacBook's power adapter. This will charge my MacBook, of course, and then I also use it to charge the portable battery. Anyway, I'll leave a link to this thing in my bio if you want one for yourself. I believe they're like $30 to $50. I haven't checked in a while. This isn't sponsored or anything. I just like this thing a lot. I will receive a small affiliate commission when you purchase it though, but I'm not like shilling it or anything. I just really like this thing a lot and I use it all the time and I thought you guys might appreciate it too. Anyway, that's Tech Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all y'all. So the new Raspberry Pi 5 was quietly released the other day and the new features on it are pretty incredible. Here's everything you need to know about it in under 2 minutes. Also, if you don't know what a Raspberry Pi is, they look like this. They're basically tiny little computers that are really affordable that hobbyists like me use for electronics projects all the time. So this is the Pi 5, and at first glance, it might look a lot like the Raspberry Pi 4, but under the hood, there's a lot of really significant differences here. We'll start off with some of the obvious hardware changes. They've swapped out the micro USB port to USB-C. I think literally everybody's gonna welcome this. Next to the USB-C port, you'll see there's now 2 HDMI ports. These 2 bad boys support dual 4K displays, which is a little teaser for the performance power coming up. Next, we have this port here, which may look inconspicuous at a glance, but it's a PCI 2.0 port. This means you could run things like NVMe SSDs directly to the Pi. Other than that, they've changed the switch to be a power switch, not just a reset switch. USB 3.0 and 2.0 like before, and your Ethernet port, which now supports power over Ethernet. There's also now an extra port for a camera, a UART port for some extra hardware debugging, and now a fan port. We'll touch on that one in a second. Now onto the tech specs, and this is where this thing gets juicy. First thing is Raspberry Pi now develops their own in-house silicon to handle all the I/O interactions. This is why they're now able to support so much new I/O, like the PCI lanes and the new cameras on the same board. This doesn't necessarily affect performance, I just want to mention it because it's cool to see them developing their own chips. Now, I won't get too deep into the numbers on the performance, but the TLDR is the processor is way faster, but the GPU is like way faster. Like this thing is a graphics powerhouse. On top of that, the other big difference is the RAM on this thing. The base model, which is only $60, has 4 gigabytes of RAM, and for $80 you can get 8 gigabytes of RAM. That means the $80 model of this thing is going to be comparable to like mid to entry level laptops, which is insane. I think there's going to be a ton of use cases opened up for these Pis. One of the really big things changing with the Pi is with that power is going to come a lot of heat. So Raspberry is now recommending you use active cooling on your Pi to get proper performance. People used little passive coolers before, but it wasn't by no means required. It was just kind of an optional thing, but now it's fully recommended. They have a fan port on the board. They sell this really nice little cooler. I think it's only like $5, and they also make a case with the cooler built into it. It sits on there just like this. It's a super clean setup. So that is the Pi 5 in a nutshell. I am really excited about this thing. Now, for those who know anything about Raspberry Pis, you know they were impossible to buy over the last 2 years. Due to the silicone shortage, the base model Raspberry Pi 4s were going for like $400 a piece when they retailed for $50. Now, I've actually spoken to Raspberry directly, and for the Pi 5, they're pretty certain that they're going to have a ton of stock on hand available, and there's going to be no inventory issues whatsoever. On top of that, they're also keeping the Raspberry Pi 4 in their lineup. I'm not sure what the pricing is going to be there exactly, but I'd imagine cheaper. Anyway, really excited to utilize this thing a little bit more. I think with this crazy new performance, the use case for these things are just going to explode. I think there's going to be a lot more like just general computing done on these things. But if you guys have any questions at all on the Pi 5, please let me know in the comments there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you.